Hello, Roadrunners. My name is Enrique Medina, and welcome back to Rio Talk. This is our first episode for fall of 2020 for all the support during spring. Hoping all you guys had an amazing summer, a good start to the semester now during the fall of 2020. Obviously, 2020 has been a crazy year so far, but we have big news recently. First off, in the political spectrum, in the political world, obviously, this past week, we had the first presidential debate between Democratic candidate and Republican nominee Donald Trump. We also had last night the debate between Kamala Harris and Mike Pence. And during the weekend as well, we had crazy news that the president, Donald J. Trump, actually tested positive for coronavirus. So I wanted to get your guys' thoughts first on the first presidential debate between President Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden. Let me know kind of what were some of your takeaways from that debate. Obviously, we could tell that it was very heated. Definitely the whole way. There was a lot of interesting moments that occurred. What were some of the things that stood out to you guys?
Well, I believe it was a perfect representation of where the country is right now, We're divided, we're fighting, we're bickering among one another, We ain't getting stuff done, we're just going in circles, Trump, he's lying. Biden, he's doing his best, but it seems like he ain't gaining too many more supporters from Trump's camp, Trump's still kind of hanging on, but yeah.
I agree with that.
Go ahead.
Like, it's the debate. I didn't get a chance to see it, but just like looking at kind of the highlights, it was kind of it shows you how America is in today's society, and the debate, it was kind of it was a lot of unnecessary talks because I saw it as a lot of immaturity. They would talk back, or they would talk over one another when they would say you have a chance to talk 2 minutes uninterrupted, but both candidates, from what I saw from the highlights, they were both interrupting each other, which is very immature. And as much as I hate to say it, but that's America right now. America's immature with a lot of many problems that we have in this country, and we just don't seem that we're going to fix it, as much as I hate to say it.
Yeah, and for sure, without a doubt, there's so many question marks we have right now, obviously, with things going on with the coronavirus around the country. In regards to finding a cure, we also have the issue of the whole Black Lives Matter movement and racial equality and things of that nature. We have a lot of question marks that we've truly bringing into fruition now that it's been tough to talk about in the past, or we haven't talked about it into the past, but it's definitely come into the spotlight now. So those are definitely things that are going to need to be talked about. What are some of your guys' expectations for the next presidential debate between Democratic nominee Joe Biden and President Donald Trump? What are some of your guys' expectations for that next debate?
Well, even if there is a debate, from what I'm hearing, Trump doesn't even want to have one no more because it's going to be on a Zoom call, kind of like this one. So he wants things his way. So instead of having that debate, he's going to go and do a rally, apparently, even though he still has COVID. And that's one thing I want them to discuss, his health. Because I know for a damn fact that they're not telling the truth about his health. They're covering things up. And even if he's getting better, you got to bring up the fact that he's on 3 different experimental drugs that neither me or you has access to. We will never have access to it unless it actually passes the trials. But who knows if that's what they're really giving him,
Yeah,
Yeah, for
that's for
sure.
sure.
And
Like, I
yeah,
feel like if they do have a debate, I feel like that's one topic for sure. Like, they'll bring up is like, the coronavirus. Like, obviously, it kind of seems like that was a topic like they try to like talk the way around of. I mean, obviously, it's a big subject. They can't really talk their way around it, but they try to like ignore little questions as much as possible. From what I saw, and from what I think, like, of what happened to the last debate. But I do feel like Biden will, kind of attack Trump with it because, I don't exactly know word for word of what Trump said, but he said like, America, shouldn't panic, or, America doesn't really need to worry about, the
yeah,
virus. It's not very
He completely
effective.
downplayed it.
Yeah.
and
And,
it's
a couple
very
like 2 days later after he got
very
the
ironic.
virus. So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
There
So
was
I do
that
feel like,
part.
and
Yeah, that part
yeah,
that
I feel like
uh
Biden's gonna use this as a
sure.
advantage in the next debate. But like, I mean, with coronavirus is not um the only issue that we have in this country. And I feel like there's just gonna be more issues that is gonna be bring up later into the topic during the debate. But I would say it should be very interesting.
Of course, we also have the issues of trying to get to racial equality. We also have the issue of that the white supremacy part in that first debate. Lorenzo, uh, I know you talked about it a little bit. Just what were some of your thoughts on that specific question when Trump was asked about it?
Well, I found it alarming that he actually failed to call out the white supremacists as they told him to. Instead, he just told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. That sounds like a threat to me. That sounds like kind of word talk. That don't sit right with me. He got to explain himself.
Yeah,
Without a
it's
doubt.
yeah, it's
Also, yeah, and like we mentioned, there's gonna be a lot of question marks, a lot of things that will be discussed in that next debate. That's gonna be very telling. Without a doubt, maybe more of a signal of who we might want to elect. It's gonna be very telling for sure, without a doubt. Uh, Definitely, like you guys had mentioned, with Trump having COVID now, without a doubt, that's going to be something that's going to probably be forefront or one of the forefront topics that are going to be discussed.
and so
What's the
and
issue in regards to finding a vaccine or in regards to the president's health as well? Because we truly like you had mentioned, Lorenzo. I know Trump had made those comments that he was feeling good about it. They, he was battling COVID, perfectly fine. Uh, there's still that question mark though. Does he truly feel healthy? Because there's still that question mark, and that's definitely going to be something that's going to come into topic for the next debate between President Trump and Democratic nominee Joe Biden. With that being said, last night as well, we had the debate between Mike Pence and Kamala Harris. We know, obviously, probably the one thing that ironically got talked about the most was Mike Pence and the fly on his head. But I mean, either way, what were some of your guys' takeaways about that debate?
Well, I believe Pence is a perfect reflection of Trump in a lot of ways. He still has a lot of his viewpoints, but he's a toned down version of him. But I think he's a little bit more slimy, a little sneakier than him. He's also just as dangerous as him. He has some weird ideas, and he was saying a lot of lies just like Trump during his debate.
same thing with the
Yeah, for
presidential
sure, without a
debate.
doubt.
I didn't get a chance to see. However, I did get a chance to see like little pieces of it. Uh, um, but I didn't get like the whole. Um, I didn't understand most of it because like I would tune in as much as I can, but I didn't really follow the debate throughout. But pretty much like it's honestly like the same thing with the presidential debate. Like there was a lot of immaturity, you know. Uh, that's pretty much where America is right now. And any topic, it kind of seems like there's going to be immaturity. Whether you talk about COVID, whether you talk about the race problem, whether you talk about white supremacy, it's going to be, uh, it's just going to be a lot of immaturity for both sides, in my opinion. You know, so that's
Yeah, touching up on that, on this whole aspect of observing the debates and really looking at the candidates. It's just important to emphasize as a whole with this election coming up in just a few weeks. It's so important to emphasize how everybody needs to vote. I know early voting already started here in California, so
right.
for those who can and are registered to vote, you have to mail in your ballot, do whatever you need to do to get your voting on time. Because as much as somebody might not think that their vote counts, their vote does count.
The vote is the
Without a doubt.
future. Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. And just it's really gonna be a part of history and telling what the future of this country is gonna be all about.
Yeah, most
And
definitely. The future is in our hands, and we have the choice to decide which path we want to go to, which vote we want to punch in. So, it's up on us, America. It's like, which America do you want for, the next 4 years? Did you enjoy the past 4 years? If
yeah,
so, then like, yeah, pretty much, it's your choice, what you want. It's your vote. It's not guaranteed, but a vote's a vote, and each voice matters. So,
yeah,
That's right.
of course. Moving on into a little bit more into sports now. Definitely an interesting time in Los Angeles sports specifically. We have the NBA Finals and the Los Angeles Lakers. They're only one win away from crowning themselves NBA champions for the year 2020. It would be their 17th title if they were to get tomorrow versus the Miami Heat tomorrow Friday. By the time this recording comes out, it probably will be Friday. So definitely looking forward to seeing if the Lakers could get the job done. They are wearing their Kobe Bryant Mamba jerseys, their black Mamba jerseys, in remembrance of Kobe Bryant, obviously, who passed away in January of this year in Calabasas. And on top of the Lakers, we also have the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are currently in the MLB playoffs, facing off against the San Diego Padres from Arlington, Texas, which is a little weird because they're not playing in San Diego or Los Angeles, but the teams in the American League are playing in Los Angeles and in San Diego. Um, Definitely a little weird there. But the Dodgers currently at the moment sit with a 2-0 lead in the National League Division Series. Game 3 is tonight, Thursday, the day of this recording. So by the time we get to Friday, the Dodgers could be heading to the National League Championship Series already. And if they are to do so, they'll be facing off against the Atlanta Braves, who just defeated the Miami Marlins in a sweep from Houston, ironically, in which the Astros actually beat the Oakland Athletics at Dodger Stadium, with the bubble being incorporated in Major League Baseball, just to ensure that everything with COVID, no COVID situations where any games have to get suspended and have to be played later, because obviously you want to try to get people as healthy as possible so we could get this postseason through and over with. Obviously, it's been a tough year both in the NBA and in MLB, but we're finally getting to the stretch run. And first off, for Los Angeles Lakers fans, just kind of what's that sentiment, knowing that we're just one win away from crowning ourselves NBA champions for the 17th time.
for the first time since 2010, it'll be almost exactly like 10 years, like, since they held that trophy up. I think that they have a chance of winning it all. I can't say that, well, I guess like, there's a good chance that they can win tomorrow because Sports Center like they shot an or they shoot an article out saying that they're actually 4-0 in the postseason with those Black Mamba jerseys.
They
So
are.
hopefully that gives them like, a little boost of uh you know uh that Mamba mentality that they want, like, that they want to focus on getting that NBA Finals. And for sure LeBron wants to wins that championship so hard. Like, he wasn't even celebrating when they won the conference. Like, he was sitting down, and he knows that the job's not finished until, like, you get what you want. But tomorrow it's going to be very interesting. Miami Heat, you know, uh, LeBron James facing his former team, and he's playing with the Lakers with the Mamba jerseys, with that Mamba mentality in his head. So it's going to be very interesting tomorrow. But yeah,
And at the end of the day as well, we just know how much, if we do win tomorrow, we just know just the meaning behind this championship, knowing with what happened earlier in January this year with Kobe Bryant, one of the most famous, if not one of the most important NBA players in history, and probably the biggest player in Lakers history, maybe the greatest Laker of all time. Um, and definitely left such a huge impact to this generation, even to generations of past and the future, with Mamba mentality and just his work ethic, his style of play. It really left a lot of players who are playing in the finals today with inspiration, especially with this Laker team to, play and push as hard as they can because they really want to win this championship, both for him, and to be able to say they win the Lakers 17th championship, so it's gonna have meaning without a doubt. And it's just, it's almost perfectly planned in a sense, you could say. It's just kind of the way we had hoped for. There's still one more win to go, but without a doubt, it would be a very special moment. And with that,
it'll be like
also,
honestly like a script. Like it'll be just like honestly like kind of like a script that you'd be reading from a book
it
or a movie. So
for
it's like
sure,
it honestly
without a
feels
doubt,
surreal in a way.
That's right.
of course.
But also like moving into baseball, it's I think the Dodgers like uh if they don't clinch today, then like they have the chance to clinch tomorrow with the Los Angeles Lakers. So
That would be pretty
I
great,
think tomorrow. I honestly think tomorrow, like, well, honestly, just in general, would be a great day for LA to be or
of course,
to be a LA fan. But
without a doubt.
yeah, kind of like you said earlier, it's kind of like a surreal postseason.
It
I'm
is.
like,
It truly is. And with that, it's
yeah,
you gotta take into effect just really realizing almost every sport is on right now. We have baseball in the playoffs.
I
We
know
have the
this is,
NBA in the finals.
yeah.
When have you ever gotten the chance to say that the NBA finals and the MLB
Oh,
playoffs are happening at the same time? We also have
yeah,
soccer, which is just
about
starting
2 weeks ago, really quick, about 2 weeks ago, Sports Center they shot something cool, or they posted something cool. Like they posted that 5 of the major sports were playing at the same day, because there's never going to be a day where you're going to see a baseball, a football, a soccer, a NBA, or an
and a
NHL
hockey.
game. Like,
Yep,
yeah, a hockey game. So like the 5 biggest sports that you could think of in America, like it all happened in one day a couple weeks ago. So
really
this is
true.
really surreal in a way. Like this like sports, I think, has a big impact in America, because
Of
like
course, without
you
a
could
doubt.
root for your local team, or you could vote. You could root for any team that you want, whoever's your favorite team. But just in sports in general, it gives, like, especially like in today's you know
In today's
the issues that
society,
we have, yeah, today's society, like the issues that we're going through, it get like it takes us like
it it
outside
it
what's
serves
happening.
as a distraction and
Yeah, it's
kind of from
yeah.
life's
There you go.
realities,
Distraction.
and also it gives a platform as well to talk about those issues going on. So sports,
Hmm.
definitely, as much as people love to watch them and enjoy them as well, sports are also very important to our culture and to our societies. So, and with things here in LA going pretty good so far, it's just a really cool time right now, without a doubt.
And I also know that it's very unfortunate that a lot of people do not want to turn on their TVs or they don't want to watch sports in general because, you know, they're talk like they're sending a message in political as well. NBA, they got the Black Lives Matter like almost in a lot of players' jerseys. Many fans are not too happy about it. Many fans are happy about it. They got like I know for a fact I know some people that stopped watching sports because of that. You know, Mookie Betts in the beginning of the season, just like Colin Kaepernick a couple of years ago, took a knee, and there was many reactions like just when Colin Kaepernick did it like 4 years ago. People were upset, people were happy, people had different perspectives of it, but just like it is a distraction, but at the same time, not so much. With like the issues that we're going through in America. So, but it's very
Yeah,
unfortunate.
For me,
yeah, and you know,
for
go
me,
ahead.
I've done sports all my life. I used to play football. I used to wrestle. I played a little bit of baseball, a little bit of basketball myself, but mostly I played football. I don't know. After I stopped playing football, sports hasn't been the same for me. I still kind of watched them, but it just wasn't the same. And with COVID now, I just can't watch sports anymore. It's so I don't know. It's kind of meaningless to me now in a way.
Yeah, and,
And,
and and for some people it will have different meaning. Some people thoroughly enjoy playing the sport more than watching it, and for some it's the opposite, or for some it's a mixture of both. So it's really different for every person, but it is important to realize just how beautiful sports is in our culture and what it could do for us.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
With that being said, guys, let's finish off this episode. And thank you guys for being a part of this episode. Thank you, John, and thank you, Lorenzo. With that being said, make sure to follow us on Instagram for El Paisano Media. I'm Enrique Medina, joined by John Rodriguez and Lorenzo Arce. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Be safe.
yeah, thank you.